Someone is already in the fucking comments.
Yeah. Welcome to Friday Night... Sorry, welcome to Acceptable Vices. Here's the show. We're breaking the glass in case of emergency.
Thank God you didn't fuck up the first show of the year.
Yeah, right? Well,
I
the
just
first
got
show
really
of the year was
confused.
a couple of weeks. It was about a month ago.
Not quite.
Which is
2 weeks
in and
ago.
of itself.
2 weeks ago.
Two weeks ago.
Yeah.
All right, so welcome everybody to Acceptable Vices. Today on the show we've got Skojo. Hey, Skojo.
Hey.
How you doing, man?
Huh? Surviving.
I
Staying awake.
How you doing?
I said I'm surviving.
You're surviving?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Staying awake.
Staying alive. Staying alive.
He's surfing.
And we got Churba. Hey, Churbs.
Hello. How are
Hello. I'm doing okay. How are you?
you? Same old, same
Yeah.
old.
Same old, same old.
I mean, I'd appreciate if you could just, like, stop doing America, but,
Believe me, America wishes we could stop doing America.
Like,
Hey,
Debbie did Dallas, and I think we should have stopped there.
Unfortunately, the horse is in the elevator, Churba. There's nothing we can do.
What would you be doing for work if not covering America?
Something that makes me happy. Something that pays more than a fucking pittance. Something where I don't get called out of bed at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Do you at least get hazard pay?
Not unless I'm on site, and even if I'm on site, the only way I get hazard pay is by jacking up my invoice rate.
Why don't you cover like New Zealand or something?
Or someplace less politically volatile, like, I don't know, Azerbaijan.
I don't even remember what language they speak in Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijani?
Huh? That's I don't know. Azerbaijan language. Azerbaijani, yeah.
Well,
Bam!
there you
Bam.
go.
Out of the park. It's a Turkic language closely related to and mutually intelligible with modern Turkish. So if people who don't speak Azerbaijani and only speak Turkish can understand Azerbaijani, then doesn't that kind of make it the same language?
No, it's kind of like how there's like
It's a dialect
there's
thing.
pretty big differences between
Yeah,
like,
probably.
Spanish, Spain, Spanish from Spain and like Spanish and like I don't know, Brazil.
Do you
wait,
know
they
what
do
language
Portuguese.
they speak
They
in
do
Brazil?
Portuguese. They do Portuguese in
yeah.
Brazil. I know. I picked a
Spanish
South
and
American
Portuguese are
country, and I picked like literally the only country that doesn't speak Spanish.
You had an entire continent that you
know.
could have picked, that most of which speaks Spanish, but you picked the one that speaks that primarily speaks Portuguese.
It's true. Yeah.
Good job.
I try. So what are we doing tonight? What's our acceptable vice?
Tonight our acceptable vice is stealing topics from other podcasts.
And also butts.
And also butts. Twas was very insistent on the butts. Wait, was it Twas or was it?
No, it was that gent.
Nope,
you
it was
fool.
it was that gent. There we go. He's
And
in for
all
life.
I've got in my head is like fucking this dumb meme of Theresa May I saw a couple of days ago with her going, "Oh no, I'm dummy thick. I keep trying to Brexit, but the clap from my ass cheeks keeps alerting Ireland."
What? Was that English?
Yes, allegedly. Well, not English, English,
Allegedly is
but
right. Oh my god. That didn't feel
I found it. Excellent. Oh, great. Sending this to the fucking chat.
Yeah, do that then. While you're doing that, I'm going to take a moment to thank our wonderful Patreon supporters. Yes, our Patreon supporters, the people who throw a little bit of cash into the hat each month, for help in keeping this channel a juicing. So thank you to Dexter Calder, Aaron Cerise, Ethan Fryer, Geek Knights, Gina Moreno, George Davidson, Jay Vance, Rochelle Mantanona, Schrodinger's Trolley Problem, Zaragorgia, Non-Vegetable, and Yodel for their generous support. On that note, though, let us get the thing a-going. What we've been meaning to... What do you got there? What have you sent? Have you sent in the thing? You've sent the thing.
I sent the thing.
I'm trying to leave it, but I'm dummy thick and the clap from my ass keeps alone to Northern Ireland. That's what you said. Okay. Okay. Anywho, so let's get this thing going. We're gonna be asking. I'm gonna be asking you guys some questions. They are meant to be hard questions, but some of them are not. And the important part is finding out what your answers to these questions might well be. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna have a little fun in the process. So here's our first question here. If the cure for cancer meant constructing a huge factory in Antarctica, should we do it anyways?
Yes.
Sherba?
I've lost the questions thing.
You don't have to look it up. I'm literally just saying it to you.
Yes, that would have worked if I was listening.
I say again, if the cure for cancer meant constructing a huge factory in Antarctica, should we do it anyways?
Fuck it, yeah, why not?
I feel like that question needs like more. It had to be like, if the factory.
There's a build-up. There's a build-up.
Because I mean,
oh, I got you. So these like progressively get worse.
The thing is that like a factory that produces a drug like that would be generally doesn't have a great deal of ecological impact if managed correctly, which it would be, because nobody's going to let you do it if they don't.
And you know what? That is an excellent point, which brings us to our next question. If the cure for cancer meant destroying all of Antarctica, would you do it?
Yes, fuck penguins.
Fuck all the penguins?
So, I need to know,
no.
Does it destroy the ice, the glacier part, or just the land part of Antarctica?
Oh, I see. You're going for is this going to have a broader climate change out?
Exactly, because like if you melt all the ice in Antarctica, then the sea level rises like a whole bunch of feet, and like my beach house gets covered by water, which is really important to me. And maybe I wouldn't cure cancer because my house, my family's beach house would be destroyed.
I wouldn't cure cancer because it would destroy my house. Alright? What if your house had cancer? No, that makes no sense.
Track marker? Okay, fine. Let us not consider the greater ecological impact. If the cure for cancer meant killing all puppies, would you do it?
No.
Yes.
You can always make more puppies.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my dog is included in all dogs, and any of your motherfuckers come for my dog.
How old's your dog?
Your dog's only like 3.
Your dog's not a puppy.
It says like killing all dogs / puppies. She is included under the heading dogs.
Oh, see, he didn't read the question totally correct there.
I didn't. No, I read exclusively puppies on purpose.
Well, yeah, no, but no. Any one of you motherfuckers come for my dog, you better be prepared, because you are not going to survive.
No, not going to survive?
No.
No.
Like, not even joking, if someone tried to hurt my dog, I would probably kill them.
I mean, like, how would these puppies be killed?
So, okay, what does that make a difference, then?
Would that be humanely, or would I just, like, you know...
The Thanos snap?
Thanos snap, and, like, Turbo would be like, what happened to my dog?
Where's my dog?
Why is your dog on the floor?
It's too late, man. I've seen Infinity War. If my dog suddenly collapses into a pile of ash, I'm fucking John Wick in your ass.
He's coming after you, you purple motherfucker. He's coming after you.
I mean, you know, probably.
I
not.
guess the broader question is, but is having the cure for cancer worth trading the lives of every puppy or dog?
I say no. Unless you have a contingency plan in place to bring more of them into the world.
Oh, you mean like you're killing off, extincting dogs, causing dogs to become extinct?
All right, what about just puppies?
Just puppies.
Just puppies? Well, I guess you can make more puppies. They're very cute, but it's not the complete loss of an entire species.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Are you more of a success if you had 5 top 40 hits versus 1 number 1 hit?
It depends on how much money you made.
Oh, so you're measuring it purely by the monetary value.
Well, I mean,
Also,
I guess it depends, because there are like some one-hit wonders that are like super famous, and then there are people that have like high, you know, they get chart pretty high and then aren't really remembered.
yeah. Also, what kind of success are we talking here? Like, and what kind of hits?
Okay. So
Are we talking? Is
okay,
it top
so
40 like
monetary
top 40
success.
sales charts, or are we
Okay,
talking
hold on.
like radio hits?
let's go with radio plays, but let's let's step away from monetary success because that is a very easily measurable, definable thing. Like you can say, okay, this made more money, this made not as much money. Clearly, this is better. Let's go with it from like an artistic point of view. As an artist, are you more successful having multiple top 40 hits or having 1 number 1 hit?
Depends if it's Friday.
The song, the day, or both?
The song.
Yeah, her follow-up hit Sunday just wasn't that great.
Well, she took that gap in the middle for artistic creativity, you know.
I'm
building
sure you
herself
mean
as an artist.
artistic, Victor.
That's why I said artistic creativity. What did you hear?
Not artistic, let's say.
I heard
Okay. Okay, maybe I dropped my R is maybe what happened.
You did very much, but still, yeah. Carry on.
I mean, hey,
Carry
look,
on, man.
if you're talking about any artist is going to tell you they'd rather be influential because of like a long run of music or work that that influences people over time compared to just somebody with a flash in the pan. I don't think anybody really wants to be a one-hit wonder when they set out, but I mean, they're not going to turn it down, right?
No, I suppose not. But what I'm saying is, what is the better measure of success? Is what I'm saying. Multiple top 40 hits or 1 number 1 hit?
I'm going to say top 5s, because it shows that you can at least achieve that result consistently, and you're not just a flash in the pan.
Yep.
Because
Nah,
look at the Beatles. We don't think they're a incredibly influential band because of just their number 1 hits, but because of their incredibly consistently good output over time. They weren't all number 1 hits, but they were still incredibly consistent over time.
That's true. Okay. Skoju, do you concur?
Yep.
Good. Okay, so continuing on the subject of success, would you rather win a gold medal at the Olympics or 13 silver medals?
I know people who have actually won both gold and silver medals.
Well, because we're talking, you bring up that multiple wins are a measure of success, are a measure of consistency, but at the same time, winning a gold medal shows that you have to be better literally than everyone else to win a gold medal in an event.
I think I'd take the silver medals because I'm just kind of lazy. I don't mind being the guy who's better than everyone else except that one other guy.
No, I've heard, having heard other interviews of people who've gotten medals. The worst medal to get is a silver medal. The bronze medal person is just happy to have gotten the medal, and the gold medal, you beat everybody. The silver medal, you got beat, and you could have been the best, but something stopped that. So I feel like I would want one gold medal.
Sure.
I gave my answer first, you maniac. I would probably go with silver medals because you can always step up to a gold medal from a silver. I mean, if you're consistent enough to get 13 fucking silver medals, you can probably get a gold with just a little bit extra work.
No, but that's not what he said. There's no chance of you getting a gold medal. It's you get a gold or you get 13 silver medals over your career.
13 silver medals then. Because you're still putting in that long, consistent performance rather than just the one big hit and then gone. How many fucking one-hit wonder gold medalists do you remember?
Wait, okay. So let's think about this. If you compete and get 13 silver medals, don't you think that the reason you're doing that was to get that gold? And you never got that gold medal. Whereas that other guy, he just set out, first time out, gets the gold medal, and then just retires and doesn't have to do it 13 more times.
Yeah, but if I'm practicing that much that I'd be good enough for the Olympics, it's probably something I kind of like.
Well, you know what, though? This would be a much more interesting question if they still let amateurs into the Olympics. Because then you really could have that one guy that all he wants to do is just get one gold medal in the Olympics, and then he's done. He'll go back to his life as a plumber or something. But you can't do that in the Olympics now. You got to be a professional athlete for a long time before they let you in. So
true.
I think I would rather go with the 13 silver medals. I mean, as much as I'm the kind of guy that will do, like, I play racing games, I want first place. And if I don't get first place, I will run that race over and over again until I get better and better and better, until I'm good enough to get that first place. But that being said, I think the 13 silvers would be probably better.
I feel like you go to your deathbed going, man, I was so close to that gold medal. Whereas the one guy who gets the one gold is going to be like, I got that gold medal, yo.
See, that's the thing. I'm not really prone to that because I just go like, hey, I'm going to give it my fucking best. And if someone else's best is better, fuck it, I still gave my best and I did real good.
Wait. But we're Olympic. You have to also take into account that you're an Olympic athlete. Like, none of us are an Olympic athlete who is, like, trained.
Gee, you don't say. None of us are Olympic athletes.
I feel like, I mean, if you're gonna say that, like, I'll be like, yeah. I mean, if it was just me, I'd be like, yeah, I'd be happy to get like 13 silvers. Like, whatever, I'll take what I can get because I didn't do any of the training. But if I did the training and I was like if I thought I was the #1 person in the world and I get second 13 times, I'm probably gonna be a little annoyed.
Okay.
I don't know.
Let's move
History
along.
loves an underdog.
History does. They really do. But they ultimately want the underdog to win. If the underdog doesn't win, then he's just a loser.
True.
Yeah. Okay, so here's something more about categorization. Is a horse a vehicle?
Is a Pop-Tart a sandwich?
Is a
No,
horse.
it's ravioli.
Is ravioli a Pop-Tart?
Well, raviolis existed first, so...
Is a horse a vehicle?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Rider for transportation.
A thing used for transporting people or goods, especially on land, such as a car, a lorry, or a cart. A thing used to express, embody, or fulfill something.
Hmm.
Huh.
I'd say no under that definition.
Yeah, I'm also going to say no because being a vehicle or a thing implies it has no agency, and a horse has agency, even if that agency is very simple. Also,
Okay, so
horses are assholes.
you realize you are now excluding self-driving cars from the definition of vehicle by that metric.
Yes, because if you make a self-driving car that is as smart as a horse and is as aware of itself as a horse, like as an individual being, then I'd say that we have greater questions than whether it's a fucking vehicle or not. Also,
so
if you
Google has just
if you make
by
an
the virtue
AI that's
of oh, go ahead.
if you make an AI that's as much of a dick as most horses are, then you've probably created Skynet. Horses would nuke us if they had the chance.
Yeah, they're like their zebra cousins. They're just less bitey.
Not so sure about that.
Horses are not as bitey as zebras.
How many horses have you met that haven't been trained?
Well,
Hey, somebody in the chat raised an important question. Is a person giving you a piggyback ride a vehicle?
I would think yes for the period in which they're giving you a piggyback ride.
You're a transformer.
Okay, so think about palanquins,
Is
right?
Optimus Prime actually no? Optimus
Palanquins are
Prime
vehicles.
isn't a vehicle.
Palanquins
yes,
are vehicles.
Well, yes, palanquins are vehicles, but the people holding it aren't. At best, they are
Are they-
motors.
So is then a horse a motor without
Yes.
a vehicle?
A motor produces horsepower. A horse produces horsepower. Ergo,
So a horse would be the equivalent of having an entire drivetrain but no chassis. Is that what I'm hearing here?
basically, yes. You just need a transmission.
So if you put a saddle on a horse, there's your chassis.
Yes, a saddle is a vehicle.
The saddle is a vehicle, but the horse isn't.
No, the horse is just an engine. The saddle
engine
is a
that's part
vehicle,
of
much
the
like a
vehicle.
palanquin is a vehicle.
The engine that's part of the vehicle.
Doesn't have to be.
That gent says, I want to see the SI unit for horsepower. And while someone is doubtless looking that up,
A horse should
Google
produce
has-
about 1.3 to 1.5 horsepower.
Yeah.
Maybe more, depending on the breed.
depending on the breed. Google has reminded me that today is International Women's Day. So, yay.
19th of September.
For whom?
For all the people who ask, for all the people who ask when's International Men's Day. Also, you're a fuckwit. Get out of here. Do not listen to this
Indeed.
show.
All right, what's the next question?
All right. Let's see
The
here.
next question is, why won't Rolf Harris just fuck off and die?
The next question is, would it be okay to blast our trash into space?
Yes, there's a lot of space in
Oh my
space.
god. Yeah, definitely.
That's such an obvious yes, especially if it's like at a star.
Wait, I just slightly would not necessarily want to do that, just in case we find a way of using trash in some productive way. It's terrible to throw your mask out of the.
Like
You're
electing a
valuable.
president?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to get rid of all trash into space because some of it might be useful.
That's called hoarding.
Have you seen behind me?
We're gonna get
Wait.
some. If we hold on to all of our trash, we're gonna get some extraterrestrial HGTV film crew in here to shoot an episode of Planetary Hoarders. Is what we're gonna get.
I mean, how much energy are you going to use to teleport that trash into space?
Well, you would be teleporting it. You'd be putting it into a big ball and putting it on top of a rocket and
Or just build a pile so big that it goes into space and then it just
Space,
floats
into
away,
space.
right?
We don't need the space elevator. We need a space conveyor belt to just kind of blow it off into space.
Wait, no. Instead of shooting our trash into space, what we should do is we should KonMari our trash into space.
There you go.
Thank it for its service, and then let it go.
Oh.
Also, just
Alright,
as a random fact, Spark Joy is actually a mild mistranslation of what it actually says, what she actually means, but that's a different discussion.
All right. So, would a baby on a deserted island ever laugh? So that is to assume that a baby was left there, no contact with humans, never heard laughter before, that sort of thing. Would a baby on a deserted island ever laugh? What do you think?
Well, it would
Yes,
be eaten,
babies are dumb. They laugh at anything.
or it would die of hunger before,
Assuming it didn't die of hunger.
or the tides or hurricanes killed it.
So
What the hell
we're
was
just
that?
going to assume that this is a safe baby on a deserted island.
You guys know how in cartoons when a bomb is dropped, it makes that comical kind of sound?
Yes.
I just heard that coming from outside the window.
Oh, you're
Well-
still there, though.
I'm still here, obviously. But that was just
Maybe
really...
it was a dud.
Or maybe it was an
Maybe
anvil.
it was a dot. Yeah, that's it.
It was an anvil.
Or an anvil. Could have been an anvil. Okay, so would that baby be able to find something funny?
Wait, so was the baby born on the island and then immediately separated from its parent?
Yes. Yeah, immediately
So, like,
separated from the
it had
parent.
No
was
interaction with humans whatsoever.
no interaction with humans. Somehow survives. To the point wherein we contest it to see if it laughs.
I don't
or
know
if
if
it
I can
finds
handle
anything.
I don't know if I can handle this level of abstraction on a question. I mean, clearly, the baby would be dead. And then it would have had to been raised by humans for a little while to be at a point where it possibly could survive, and therefore
It's a
probably
thought
would
experiment, Skojo. It doesn't have to be realistic. It's just a thought experiment.
Excuse me, isn't that the point of these questions? Whether I take it literally or not?
So the point of these questions is to fill up the appropriate amount of time for an episode.
Well, that is also true.
I'm so glad that I've never listened to the episode of fucking Hello Internet that this is on, because I could see myself by the end of the fucking episode like booking a ticket to the UK to just fucking batter Grey to death.
Yeah, CGP Grey. He's
He does my head in, that guy.
does he?
Yeah, he does. He's not a bad guy, but he fucking just does my nut. That means
Okay.
a very different thing here
Hey,
than it
you
does
know-
in America, I should note.
I would like to note the chat agrees with me.
Yeah. Okay. So wildly different question. If there was a robot, if there was a restaurant that had nothing but robot waiters and it brought you a drink, would you thank it?
Huh.
Yes.
See, that's a very different question to the one that's written down, because the one that's written down is should you thank it? You said would you thank it?
Yes,
Oh,
I
both?
was going to build to that.
Both?
See,
Would
Okay.
you
I-
and should you? I have a rule.
So-
I have a rule to treat all robots, especially ones that move around and feed me, with a lot of respect. Because I do
Okay,
not. When they
so-
rise up and take over, they'll remember that I was respectful to them and maybe not kill me first.
Okay, so I think it is important. I do agree with you, not for maybe the same reasons, but I do agree with you. It is a good habit to maintain. But for the moment, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. I'm gonna take the side of probing for details. Why should you thank them? Why should you thank them? Sci-fi fantasy notwithstanding.
I would thank them, Simply because I am a fucking weirdo who obsessively animizes everything. I talk to my car, I talk to my fucking microwave.
No. I understand why you do it. And when Roxanne, my car, goes up a particularly steep hill, I will, give it a little pat on the dashboard and say, "Atta girl." But why should you? Or should you? Or is there a reason why you should? Is there a reason why you should?
The reason why you should is that if that makes you feel good, or you feel that you should be polite to things, then that's why you should. There should be no... until an AI is developed that actually has an opinion on the matter, I feel like it's really up to you whether you want to give that level of animism to any particular inanimate object.
I mean, it's also really healthy to just appreciate the things around you for what they do and how they make your life easier or are there to help you.
That gent said that manners should be an autonomous response for all people. Dawn's Child tends to agree. She says, treat others as you want to be treated. We set the example for children. We should lay groundwork for manners. They grease the skids.
Yeah. Interesting.
But Psycho Mexicano says, if it's a full-on robot waiter like the Omnix in Overwatch, yes, absolutely. If it's just a Roomba bringing you water on a tray jerry-rigged to it, there's no reason to.
Until it takes knives out, then it matters.
When it takes knives out, that's when we're going to really have some fun.
Do you guys ever read any of the humanity fuck yeah fiction that floats around?
Nope.
A little bit, yeah, when it pops up, but I don't go seeking it out.
Oh. So Chirpa, have you seen some of the stories about the Roomba with the knife stuck to it that wanders around the ship?
No, I haven't actually.
This is really hilarious.
Send that to me later.
I will find it and I will send it to you. It's an element that is common among multiple people's humanity fuck yeah fictions. It's really great.
You mean if there's something that moves around, you'll put a knife on it?
Well, no, it's the
common thread.
The crew members keep it as a pet, as almost like a pet, an honorary member of the crew. It's got a rank and everything. I think it's up to corporal. I think it's up to corporal by now.
Oh man, do your grocery stores have a robot that goes around now and like with googly eyes?
No.
I have yours? Yes. Just in the last month or so, the giant food stores around here have these robots that go up and down the aisle on wheels, and they're checking for spilled inventory, I guess. I guess. Who knows what else they're doing? But they actually put 2 googly eyes on them.
Because as soon as you do that, it stops being some cold machine and starts being this adorable thing that's just wandering up and down the aisles.
Fascinating.
Googly eyes makes everything better.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Would you rather live under a democracy or a dictatorship led by Santa? The question here actually says Father Christmas, but I'm just going to go ahead and say Santa.
Whoa.
Well, yeah. Same guy. So
yeah. I'm pretty sure I'd want to live in a democracy.
But Santa is good.
Santa knows what you've been doing. He knows whether you're
awake.
You're awake. He knows whether you've been bad or good.
Whether you've been supportive of the state or good.
And what's his philosophy? You don't know what he considers to be good or bad. Maybe he goes by like Old Testament Christianity, and you've just had some shellfish. You're really screwed. And what are you gonna do? He's gonna send you to the coal mines to work.
I don't know.
Victor, how is this even a decision?
See.
Well,
As a
look, not
form, as
to
a,
find a point on it, but we went with democracy and got a Cheeto. Okay, so
as a form of equivocating non-answer, I'm going to point out that there's two kinds of children: the kind that stays up trying to wait for Santa, and the kind, which I was, which sets traps for Santa.
I would like to note that we are a republic.
What has that got to do with trying to trap the mythological personification of Christmas?
Skojo just likes to nerd snipe.
Next
So
question
what kind
before
of
we get
question?
bogged down in this fucking nonsense.
Next question.
Darn it!
Oh,
I was
this
gonna
is
ask, what democracy are you talking about?
This question cannot apply to Churba. So just to Skojo. Skojo, do you use your imagination when you dream?
Ooh, dreams. What are dreams? I have no dreams. I have a kid and I'm married. No.
Ooh,
Oh, you could say you have a dream. You dream of peace and quiet.
Do I use my imagination in dreams? When I was a kid or like now? Because it's like, I think it's different now.
Or is your mind using its imagination, or is it your subconscious running wild with what it is, what it assumes is reality?
It depends. Like, I used to be a really big lucid dreamer, and so I assume in those cases I could use my imagination to do whatever I wanted at that point. But I've had really banal dreams where, like, I'm just like at work, so I assume it's also subconscious. It's probably a little bit of everything. Actually, it's one thing I really miss. I was actually thinking about that, about how I don't dream as much, probably because I don't get enough sleep. And when I do get dreams, usually they're woken up by an alarm. So it's like, yeah, great. But I miss lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming was a lot of fun.
When was the last time you lucid dreamed? Like how many years ago?
Right now, Victor, you're actually fictional.
Ooh, yeah, I mean, no one else really exists except for me.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. It's been a while. I mean, I think I occasionally do. Anytime I have a stress
Let me ask you this: how old is Kaylee?
It was probably before that because I think it was called when I've been working at my job for 15 years last month. So yeah. So
I remember I actually placed relatively well in the Front Row Crew stock market game, because I invested heavily in your workplace, and your stock rose just enough that I didn't lose any money, which put me ahead of like half the field.
Yeah, but I should have, when I had the chance to buy a lot of stock, I should have bought a lot of stock at really low. But anyway, yeah, no. So wait, I know Churba doesn't. You don't have the ability to visualize things in your head, but does that mean you don't have any dreams?
Kind of. I mean, instead of having a dream like other people tell me they experience dreams, it's more that I wake up with a memory that is identical in format and function to all of my other memories, except I have this weird, like, extra knowledge that it's not real. Sort of like a meta-knowledge.
But the true false flag is put on false.
Yeah, it's like I have a meta-knowledge about that memory that it's not real. Especially considering that a lot of those memories are just fucking bizarre and don't fit with reality.
Yeah.
But I do not experience them in the sense. I only experience them in retrospect.
Right.
If you get what I mean.
No, yeah. You have it as a history, not as a present.
What about you, Victor?
I think that dreams are a product of imagination. I like the idea that that when you dream, your brain is a lot of what you dream is your brain like simulating for future possibilities, or processing things that has happened.
Yeah.
So I think that imagination is a part of it.
I definitely dream a lot more the more like learning I do in a particular day. And
So the more
with
your
sleep-
mind is engaged, the more it
Yeah.
remains engaged.
Yeah, and usually my mind is lulled by comic books and regular day-to-day stuff.
I will say that do you use your imagination when you dream? I'm going to take the question a slightly different way, and I'm going to say it depends. If you're lucid dreaming, yes. If you're not lucid dreaming, no, because the question implies intent by saying, do you use your imagination?
Oh.
And if it's happening,
yeah.
if it's happening without your conscious intervention, you're not really using your imagination, even if something is happening as an autonomous process.
And that is an interesting interpretation using the semantics. I like it.
Ooh, we should just go into telling each other our dreams. That's really interesting. Now, next
I
question.
dream of the end of this fucking show.
So, okay, if you do something wrong when you're drunk, should you feel less guilty?
No, fuck you.
No.
No.
I mean, it depends. Depends what you did. If I trip over something,
Why would you feel guilty for tripping over something, you maniac?
I don't know. Maybe if I trip over a cat.
No, wait a minute.
What if
Hold
I
on,
trip
stop
over
here.
a cat?
You trip over a cat.
Should I feel
That-
guilty about it?
Okay,
I probably feel less so.
owning cats, I will decidedly say no.
No.
Because I love my cats. I do, deeply. But they will do things like, in the middle of the night, sleep in a dark part of the pathway that everybody uses. Not any other part that there's light shining on, just the darkest part. Or they will dart in between your legs while you're walking. So no. It is as much their fault as it is yours. So
I mean, yeah. Would I feel more guilty or less guilty? I usually just feel guilt. I just feel guilt, regardless of what's going
What I'm
on.
trying to ask is, if you do something wrong at a point wherein you are not fully in control, that you are not fully in control of what you do,
Do I perceive it as wrong?
should you perceive it as wrong as if you did the same thing while fully in charge of your faculties?
I'm like very inside myself, so even when drunk, I'm like very like, I'm not doing stuff that I don't want to be doing.
Yeah, and also it was your choice to become that impaired, knowing that you would be that impaired. So I would say it's not like someone fucking leapt out of a shadow and jabbed you with a fucking syringe full of go crazy juice. You imbibed this substance. You took it into your body consciously and willingly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you may not have made the drink, so you don't know how hard it was going to hit you, right? I mean, there's a lot of cases where people end up drunker than they expected because of other factors outside of their control.
That is fair, but I also didn't think of that because I don't have that excuse.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm just thinking of other reasons. Also, like, there's people that like black out, and then there's there's just a lot of cases. Again, it's harder for me because like I don't experience that where I'm like completely like out of it and don't remember anything. Mainly because I don't drink like that because I'm an old man.
I've done that very rarely. On one occasion, my memory cuts off when I'm sitting next to this girl I went to school with on the sofa. I'm laughing for some reason, and then it just cuts off mid-laugh. That's it. Nothing more for the rest of the night.
And did they say you just passed out?
Oh, no. Apparently, I tried to fight a ficus, a Canadian, talked to a sink for half an hour.
So, did you feel guilty after that? That you
Fuck no.
Did you feel guilty that you took up so much of that sink's time?
Yeah.
No, not in the slightest.
Did you hurt the ficus?
No, I did not cause any undue harm to the ficus or the Canadian.
What about the Canadian? All right, let's see here.
Is vandalizing a speed camera the same
No,
as
I'm
vandalizing
skipping
a
that
life
one.
buoy?
Here, wait,
Yeah,
wait,
we
wait,
should,
wait,
because
wait.
the answer...
The form asked a very important, or the chat asked a very important question. Did you
What's
thank
that?
the sink?
Nobody actually told me, and I have no memory of these events, so it is a mystery to time, I'm afraid. But I will tell you that another time that I got that blackout drunk, I woke up in a different state, which is quite impressive in Australia, considering that another state can be like 12 hours drive away or more, easily.
How
Alright,
far
here's
away
a-
from another state were you when you
I was about
blacked
4
out?
hours drive into New South Wales and up a tree.
Oh, jeez.
And up a tree.
It was a
All
very
right,
climbable tree, so there's no mystery on how I got there.
Right. If someone changed your life for the better by lying to you, is that a good act?
I am 100% in the line is good, or if it's good.
The ends justify the means category, basically.
Pretty much. I mean, especially if it improves people's lives.
Child
Harm
says-
anybody.
Don Child says, "Let's hear it for adventures while blackout drunk."
I'm going to say yes, but with heavy caveats.
Okay, what's your caveats?
Two of them. They should be willing to come clean if they get caught.
Mm-hmm.
And two, they should not just arbitrarily be deciding for you what is best for you. They should be lying to you in such a way that you still have a choice.
That is true. Yeah.
Like, for example, if you are giving them false information about how fucking great of a time you had on, say, your, I don't know, missionary trip to fucking Thailand, then to get them to go and do that thing because, you know, they're helping needy people and you know that will change their life for the better, then fair enough. If you're lying to them in such a way that you're essentially giving them false information that will force them to do something or make them feel compelled to take an action, then yeah, that's not good.
Okay,
Yeah,
so as
no, I
long as
agree.
you're not robbing the person of their agency, is essentially what you're saying.
Yeah.
Essentially, yes.
Okay.
If you're cherry coating something or changing, like, you know, leaving
Yeah.
some of the negative parts out to, like, you know, help them out.
Yeah. That's not so
Let's
bad.
see. Can you think of two things that... Oh, I'm just going to rapidly quick fire all of the questions before that. Can you think of two things at the same time? Yes, in fact, I can write an article and dictate a different article at the same time. Would you accept a heart transplant? Would you accept a heart transplant from a rapist? Yes, provided I get it to kill him myself. If a rapist died and left you all of their money and their will, would you accept it? Yes, it's going to an anti-rape charity.
Yeah.
Yep.
One moment. Oh, pardon me. Couldn't get to my cough button quick enough. Would you, as a pauper who needs to pay for heart surgery, Jesus, take the money a rapist left you? Yes.
I mean, there's a lot of rapists giving money.
Yeah, it's like a whole string of them.
Yeah.
Weird.
And I feel like as long as I feel like this is really that they're just
Okay. All right. So here's the one that's been plaguing that's been unreasonably bothering fans of the MCU for a while. If you could save the planet by killing half the humans on Earth, would you do it?
Do I get to pick which ones?
That's a lot of choices to make.
Yeah, but I got a lot of time on my fucking hands. And I got a lot of people who need to go.
I mean, is it the perceived saving of the theoretical and the future thing that like Thanos is talking about, or is it like a comet is coming towards Earth and half the Earth population has to be destroyed so that you can move the planet out of the way and save the other half? Then
use half the planet as a meat shield. Or something.
Well, that's foolish. You could probably shoot a great many of those people into space and use far less people just as a gravity blob to pull the asteroid off course. You need to efficiently use your human resources.
Yeah. That's a pretty easy one. Obviously, if all of humanity is going to die, it's okay to sacrifice half of humanity for
But,
a
yeah.
perceived threat that isn't like
Yeah.
some theoretical threat because you saw your race on Titan like fall apart because there was too many of them, and assume that everyone else is going to be the same way.
Mm.
Anyway.
All right. Should the record of every one of your thoughts be available when you die? Assuming such a technology was available.
That would be
Sure,
so
why not?
inane. Like every one of your thoughts?
All
Like,
of them.
Oh, the alarm went off. What cereal I'm going to eat today?
Do you have that kind of running dialogue in your mind?
I mean, I'm sure I do. I mean, I have to make
Oh, wait.
thoughts to think
Hold
about
on.
doing that stuff.
You're sure you do? Because
Well,
that
what I'm
seems
saying
kind
is,
of
like, I don't think
questioning.
like,
Well, that's the thing. I mean,
He goes
there is
about
actually
his day, opens up the cupboard. What cereal should I have today?
there is a
I
name
do
for that
have,
unconscious voice. The name for that unconscious voice is your milk voice, and it's not necessarily always a conscious voice.
Yeah.
And
Your
I think that's
milk
what he's
voice.
talking about. Yeah, it's named that after the apparently little voice in your head where it says where you say things to yourself like "Don't forget to pick up the milk," or things like that.
So
Yeah, I use that a
there
lot.
there is that voice, that my own mental in my head voice, but it's not always there. So like I'm not gonna, if I stand in front of the cupboard, I'm not gonna, I don't think, let's see, do I want the Raisin Bran? Do I want the Papa Flakes? My hand will just go back and forth in front of them for a second, and then I'll just pick one.
And so you're not thinking during that
No.
time.
I'm not thinking.
Your hand is literally just
I'm not
making
narrating my.
figures.
I'm not.
You have a-
It's not going on like a track of exposition in my head.
You have a brain
Is
in
what
your
I'm saying.
finger that's actually doing the thinking right there, and
So
There is thought happening, but it's not a running track of exposition.
So what you're saying is that you don't have a voice in your head, so that when you just stand and look at the cupboard that says to you, Mr. Farage, I'm trying to leave the EU, but I'm dummy thick, and the clap from my ass cheeks keeps alerting Northern Ireland. God, I would pay so much money to have Theresa May say that, like, just on the public record.
It's on the public record.
so yes, I mean it would be boring, but sure, have all my thoughts for all of perpetuity.
Yeah, I'm dead. What the
Why
fuck
not?
do I care?
Yeah, I don't care. I mean, maybe they'll glean something useful out of it, which will be mostly be, man, he was boring. Why does
Who
he
knows?
like Marvel so much?
Maybe I figured out the cure for cancer and I was too dumb to realize it.
Oh god. Oh, you know what? It would be really great if they could go back and like find those like story ideas or whatever that I would think of and not write down, and then like when you go to finally write it down, you're like,
Yeah,
son of a.
you know what? That's really what the utility of this comes to. I don't want my thoughts available just when I'm dead. I want them available on demand. I want to do a regex query and dig through my thoughts like that. Pull up all the various stuff.
I would also like to note on the question before this that you didn't read out, should your estate own the emails in your inbox when you die? I actually have a provision in my will that literally says, here's all of my well, not all of my passwords, but it's here is the passwords to access my passwords.
Right.
Please take care of everything that needs taking care of.
Yeah. I've got one of those I got
and
the
also
system set up in Google that if
Specific
you
provisions for who my Steam account goes to.
Oh, yeah, I have to remind myself if I ever make a will, I need to make sure the Steam account's listed there.
yeah, all 1,800 some odd of the games you've got.
I mean, I'm not gonna have played them all, so I mean, somebody should
I,
get them out of
Scott
it.
Oh, so
Johnston,
you're-
of sound mind and body, hereby leave my Steam library to Kaylee when
On the-
she's older.
on the condition that she plays and then streams all of them.
Yes.
Oh, man, that would be a podcast that'll be like 20 years from now and like virtual whatever. It'll be like playing my dad's Steam collection to get to know him better and understand who he was. How the hell did he have all these games? Why
Actually,
how did he end up with all these?
Why did he put 800 hours into Civ 5? I don't get it.
But why does he have these visual novels, and why do they all have 3 hours of play on them? It's like, oh, they were just idled. You're not gonna get
my friend Owen actually did a thing like that a year or two ago, where he had a year of Humble Monthly, and he would stream every game that he got from Humble Monthly in that period for at least an hour each.
So if I just keep doing Humble Monthly and it stays around for the next 20 years, I'll probably have another 2,000 some games with the rate they're giving games a month. So I mean, you know,
That's too many games, Gojo. It's too many games. All right. Well, I think that's a good amount.
We can
amount of questions.
We can quick fire the rest of these.
All right, fine. Let's quick fire them. Okay, so should
30
stupid people be prevented from voting?
30 seconds, an answer, or under.
Yeah.
okay.
Should stupid people be prevented from voting? No.
No, because then I wouldn't be able to vote.
No, definitely not.
Should stupid people be prevented from having babies? No.
No.
No,
Yeah.
definitely not. I mean, you know,
Because
there's been no test on it so far, and look where we're at
Yeah.
now.
and you can be stupid but not negligent and
Yeah.
still caring.
Plenty of people are dumb as dog shit. They're still good people.
And your
Yeah,
kids
that's
can be way smarter than you.
Yep, that's true. Should stupid people be allowed to have puppies?
I believe this actually says pupies.
I'm assuming it's supposed to say puppies.
I'm
Yeah.
under no judgment where we should be preventing. I mean, all the questions. I'm pretty much going to be. Like, people should
I'm
be
gonna
allowed.
I'm going to say yes, on the proviso that they're able to take care of them. You should
Well,
also
obvious.
take them away from
Yeah.
people if they can't take care of them.
Yep.
Yes.
I mean, as long yeah, they take care of themselves.
But we already do that, so.
Yeah.
If McDonald's spent billions of dollars rescuing tigers from extinction, should they be able to sell tiger burgers?
If they want to farm fucking tigers and put, make tiger burgers, go for it. But if, have fun farming tigers, dickhead.
Yep.
Farming tigers does not seem like a
Doesn't seem very
profitable or easy.
I think that's possibly going for my quote of the year now. Have fun farming tigers, dickhead.
That will be probably in the top 5 unless you have a really good year.
Is it more ethical to eat a tiger that has only ever eaten synthetic meat versus a tiger that has eaten actual meat? Why would there be an ethical difference?
Wait,
No,
I thought
no,
you
know
were going to
what?
say. I thought
No.
you were going to say humans. Is it ethical to eat a tiger that eats humans?
No.
Or is it?
I will say this. I think it's actually more ethical to eat a tiger that's only eaten actual meat, because to have the synthetic meat that the tiger will actually want to eat, that's a lot of grad students who did not get to sleep. That's
I'm
where
going
I
to say
stand
there
on
is
that.
no ethical difference there because a tiger eats what it eats and has no ethical or moral framework to guide its choices.
Yep.
As it is not a sapient being.
Would you rather be a dead celebrity or a living criminal?
I think that the Me Too movement has proven that you can actually be both.
Hey.
Well, maybe not dead and living, but still.
Well, give Cosby a couple of years.
Pretty sure I'm going to go with living criminal because dead kind of sucks.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
I could be a criminal because I don't know, shoplifted or something.
Yeah, there's some incredibly minor crimes out there.
Yep. Do you choose your personality? I say yeah for most people. Whatchamacallit? If you have a chemical imbalance or something like that, or your personality, or you've been traumatized. If you've been traumatized, then no.
I disagree.
Oh,
I no free will. I don't, there is no such thing as free will, so therefore you can't choose your own personality.
okay.
I mean,
Just imagine me staring at you real hard right now.
That's
No,
a
I mean,
very
like,
rim.
I don't know.
That's a very rim answer, Scojo.
no, it's not. It's not even that. It's like I can remember as a little. I can remember. I haven't fundamentally changed the way I.
Really?
Like, I mean, I have in a little bit, but not like
A
not
little
like
bit?
super major ways. Like, I'm still
Really?
a lot. Fundamentally, I'm still like a little 12-year-old. So I mean,
I'm going to say no, because we don't in fact choose our personality. We are a core of ourselves, then which creates a foundation for a structure built of little pieces of everyone we've ever known or met.
That's a very romantic there, Chirba.
Well,
Yeah.
I had a
No,
joke there and then
hey.
I forgot it.
somebody in the forums is like, you didn't go through puberty and realize that shit blew and change it up. I would like to note that as a 12-year-old, I was into Star Wars and Marvel, and I am still into Star Wars and
There's
Marvel.
a difference between the things you like and your personality, Scojo.
No, there is.
Yeah.
I was told that that's not the case.
That's a very
Oh
American
my
answer.
goodness.
And no, I kind of didn't go through puberty and realize that shit blew and changed it up. I was like 25 before I realized I was a real cockhead. And then when I realized I was a real cockhead, I was just like, well, I'm going to be less of a cockhead from now on and put effort into that, but that is not me changing my personality, that is me changing my behavior.
Yeah.
What would
No, I
argue
mean,
that your personality is your behavior, that your behavior is dictated by your personality?
I believe it's a mix of both.
I
Your
Could
behavior...
one army of, I don't understand this question. Could one army of robots fighting another army of robots ever decide a war? I don't understand that question.
Well, yes, of course it would, because it would just end up being either a war of agreement where it's like, hey, if your robots beat my robots, you win, or it'd be a war of attrition where eventually one side will just not be able to replace their robots anymore and get fucking rolled.
Or
Yeah.
it'll be at a stalemate where they're both equally good at making robots, and the robots fight eternal battle. But that would be highly unlikely.
There will
That's
eventually
really
be a
novel.
depletion of resources, and at that point, one side is going to have ever so slightly more resources than the other. At which point it will win. So,
Next question.
next question. Could a computer write a poem? They do.
Yeah.
That's not even really a question.
That depends on the difference or where you draw the line on whether it is on ability versus intent. A computer can write a poem now, but it cannot do so of its own free will, because at this point in time computers do not have free will. I imagine they will in the future, but right now they can only do so when directed, and in both the sense of directed to do so and how to do so. They cannot spontaneously write a poem.
Scojo?
I don't
Agree,
have-
yeah.
I mean, I agree.
Okay.
How do I do
Are
that?
we more alive than a tree? I say no. If you're taking alive as a binary value, is it alive or isn't it alive? Then no.
But what if we're not taking
more
it as a
alive than
binary value?
Well, then you have to. But then, then at which point the question is not specific enough in which to create a judgment.
But how can you tell when the strawberry is dead?
That sounds like something out of "Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared." But how can you tell
It
when a
is not.
strawberry is dead? When you squish it flat and it goes quite red.
It is, in fact, actually a running joke from the Infinite Monkey Cage. But
Okay.
are we more alive than a tree? No, but we certainly have more hobbies.
That's true. And lastly, does your dog think about you when you're not around? I'm going to extend this to pets. Does your pet think about you when you're not around?
Yes, this has been empirically proven that dogs, well, dogs in particular, but most pet animals will think about their owners when they're not around, and will often also dream of their owners when they're sleeping.
Aww.
Presuming they're animals with the capability of dreaming that we've observed, like dogs, cats, birds, so on.
Right.
You know, if you've got a pet hermit crab, I'm not fucking sure either way, really.
It's just going to go...
But yes, if you have an animal that is sapient enough to recognize you as an independent being, then yes, they probably do think about you when you're not there, and will also possibly dream about you.
Do the robots think about you when you're not there?
Do androids dream of electric sheep?
That's where I was going.
All right then. Well, that is our. That was we broke.
Do androids from New Zealand want to shag electric sheep?
Yeah, they want a chup brew. Want a chup.
Oh god, there's two farmers. One's from Australia, one's from New Zealand, and they're chatting about how they operate their farms and everything else.
Right.
And the New Zealand farmer's going, oh yeah, and, we pull them in at this time and send them out at that time and everything else. And the Australian farmer goes, oh yeah, but when do you shear them? And the Kiwi farmer says, what? That's filthy. I don't shear them with anyone.
All right. Anyways, well, that's it for our questions. We broke the glass in case of emergency, and that is what came out. Tune in on Tuesday for Victor Plays. We're gonna stream a game. You can vote on the game you want at victorplays.frost.works. If you want to help support this channel like our wonderful Patreon supporters, you can go ahead and check us out at patreon.com/VictorFrost, or hit the link in the doobly-doo, which is not there, but it will be. You can do that.
If you don't want to support this channel, thank it for its service and let it go.
Speaking of our Patreon supporters, it's very important for us to thank them. That is to say, the ones that throw a little bit of money into the hat, which help keeping the channel a-chuchin'. So thank you to Dexter Calder, Aaron Cerise, Ethan Fryer, Geek Nights Podcast, George Davison, Gina Moreno, J Bands, Rochelle Mantanona, Schrodinger's Trolley Problem, Zaragorgia, Non-Vegetable, and Yodel for their wonderful support. And with that, we say adieu, adieu, adieu. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.